Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Pretty Average Nightmare. We are once again playing Doom Eternal.
You have now destroyed 68% of Hell's occupied
and we are
force.
back here at the Fortress of Doom.
You can't just shoot a hole into the surface of
We have rescued Samuel Hayden, who doesn't think we can
Is ready.
shoot a hole in the surface of Mars, which, of course, we will quite soon offer a rebuttal against by shooting a hole in the surface of Mars. But for now, double check our stuff here. Just kind of taking a look at this, making sure I'm not missing anything, and I figure we may as well get one final Sentinel Crystal, since we need to just get the other side of that bonus. So why not? We'll do a little more exploration of the Fortress of Doom in an upcoming episode. But for now, we don't have too much to do. Yeah, we're getting up there. We've already gotten quite a lot of upgrades, so that is almost over. Almost over. Only 4 more Sentinel Crystals. Let's open the portal and get on our way. We have a couple more levels to go. This one, well, I should say we have, we're roughly halfway through the game, I guess. This is episode 7. So, we're about halfway. Just over. And the next 2 missions are going to be a little short. This one is not, it's kind of standard size, I guess. This will probably be a, what, 45-minute video, roughly? And the subsequent level will be even shorter. That's a notoriously quick one.
The entrance to the BFG 10,000 is just across from this facility.
And so we'll spend a little time exploring the Fortress of Doom and doing a little more upgrading in that episode.
the power source of the BFG 10,000 should be of interest to you as well.
Why, yes it will, Samuel, thank you.
Warning, the Slayer has entered the facility.
So this is a fun level. And when I say it's a fun level, I mean that's not to imply that the others are not fun, but really just this is kind of a good checkpoint, shall we say. A good time for you to take stock of the skills that you have learned so far, give you a chance to sort of practice everything. There isn't really much in the way of new stuff to learn here. There's no real surprises. This is just a straightforward level. I mean, of course, it has its own unique features and all, but really it's just asking you to make use of the skills that you've already got. And it isn't a super tough level. There's a few challenges, of course, but this Prowler being one of them. There's a few Prowlers in this level that like to sneak up on you.
Warning, BFG 10,000 is firing.
But mostly, this level is merely testing your existing skills. So it's a good chance to kind of take stock of where you're at. See how you're feeling about the campaign thus far. And it gives you an entire level to practice anything that you may feel you need a little more work on.
Slayer threat level at max.
This guy is perfect for practicing comboing because this is a small space. And those guys do a lot of damage, so Good chance to practice a combo or two. You guys may notice that when I do look at my map and menus in the future, you will not hear the traditional little sort of ambient music loop that goes with it, because there has been a bug in Doom Eternal for quite some time now, where that music will occasionally continue looping, and it will loop no matter what you do, even if you quit back to the main menu, start another game. So that's a little frustrating. So I have a mod now, which using a Doom Eternal mod injector, which just removes that entirely. Because frankly, it's not really necessary to begin with. So no harm, no foul. And we haven't run into it in our play. I've mostly found that it occurs when I'm going back through maps that I've already finished. So it's happened a couple times when I've like missed a crystal and, you know, just had to run back real quick through at least a part of the level to find it. Haven't had it happen in the live campaign, thankfully. But in the off chance that happens, I wanted to make sure we were protected against that, because it's real annoying. There's nothing you can do about it as far as turning down the music or anything. It just stays at the same volume. I think it might even be tied to the sound effect volume. So hopefully that'll be getting addressed in a future patch. I know it's been reported to the developer through Bethesda's support thing numerous times, their support portal. We'll see. I reported it myself recently, so hopefully that'll get it back on the radar if for any reason it fell off. But that mod is available on the internet through the Doom Modding Discord. So if you are suffering from that error for any reason, I believe it's actually an error on console as well. It must have cropped up later in Doom Eternal's lifespan. But if you're on PC, feel free to check that out. So the fight gets a little spicier up here. We've got a Pain Elemental. And honestly, have we fought these before? We may have fought these before and I failed to talk about it. I know there's one in the secret encounter at the art complex. This may be the first time it sort of appears just normally, naturally. I'm honestly not sure. They're not so different from Cacodemons. I mean, their behavior is somewhat different, but they are big floating balls of nonsense. They can attack you at close range, but they primarily attack at long range and fire the Lost Souls at you as they accumulate around them. So I didn't get this dude on the first volley after knocking out his shield, and was hoping I could just rocket his base a few times and maybe get it, but it didn't seem to be working, so I figured I'd just play it safe and do the traditional route of using the plasma rifle. A little late on that glory kill. So as you can see, this fight, there's nothing, nothing really to write home about. The Pain Elemental is fairly easily dispatched at long range with precision bolts or your ballista. The Arbalist mod is often a good choice against them if you have a second to charge up. And of course you can very easily use your super shotgun and the meat hook to get in fast and deliver a shotgun blast to the face. Maybe fire off a flame belch on him while you're at it, and then resume long distance tactics. Whatever works best. So don't miss the Sentinel Crystal. It's kind of the opposite end after you drop down here from where your objective is. So it's not hard to find, but it is kind of easy to miss if you're just heading straight for the objectives. A nice cluster of guys there that are easy to deal with. This room is full of gargoyles, so while they're not a huge problem, if they have a chance to scatter and start firing their ranged attacks at you, that can be a little bit problematic. Sort of a little jumping puzzle here, and we're rewarded with a Praetor suit token in the corner. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Looks like there's just the codex. Grab that and be on our way. Up here you do have to be careful. We have a Mancubus that appears and distracts us. Sort of combo him away, but then a Prowler likes to come out, and it's very easy in these close quarters for those guys to be quite dangerous. They can do a lot of damage very quickly in close quarters that way, so do watch out. Quick transition there, since we skipped the cutscene.
Should take you directly to the Mars surface.
It's a little odd suddenly appearing here on a crashed pod or whatever. This is a good chance to use your BFG. They do kind of expect you to use it here because they automatically offer you some free BFG ammo. And it's worth doing simply for the fact that you want to use it probably 3 times, I would say, in the course of the level to get the 40 BFG kills that you need for the challenge.
You can use the facility escape pods to get down to the Mars core, but we have no way of reaching it from here.
If, of course, for any reason you have already used your BFG, you can try to run into that arena we were just in, grab it, and fire it off before something kills you. It's much harder to take it on alone because there are a lot of Cacodemons. And nothing up until this point has been especially tough. So you probably have had no reason to use it before that point in the level, so you should probably have that ammo and be fine. Much like Doom 2016, right after you get the BFG, they give you a chance to use it, just to see how it operates. So we'll have a chance to go around and get that secret in a minute. For now, we have an arena fight. So the first thing to do, I'm just firing that off right off the bat because I wanted to get a few more kills for the challenge. I think I only got 5, but I wanted to do that without trivializing the fight. It probably would have been better to kill a few things, you know, so if you're playing this and having a little more trouble, kill a few things, let a few of the tougher enemies spawn, and then use the BFG if you're planning to. This isn't really a bad fight to do it. There's enough tough stuff that you could theoretically have some trouble here. But I wanted to, you know, not skip the fight and sort of at least give you a good sense of what's here and what you'll have to face if you do not immediately use your BFG. Cacodemons, as always, are top priority targets. And we can use a quick weapon combo on the Dread Knight to take him out. Make sure we get this guy down. I actually meant to chainsaw the shield soldier there and failed to do that, but you know, sometimes you miss. Get this Mancubus. He's a good time to get both of his arm cannons, especially if there's not too much else around and you have a second. Work toward that challenge, which of course we just got. Give him a quick chainsaw. Running a little low, let's back up on a little bit of stack. And do be careful at low health, like I was there. Low stack, you can really get messed up by Whiplash pretty quick. Mostly just because they're so fast. It's easy to, you know, maybe miss a couple of shots and give them a couple extra opportunities to hit you. So if for any reason you missed something, like if you didn't go around the bend in the hallway that leads here, you can actually get back up if you are persistent. I think you can use a monkey bar and a jump or something like that. I managed to get back up there once when I had missed something, I remember. So that is possible. Got another secret down here, which is a secret encounter. I have not played this level, you know, in some time since my original play through the campaign, so I didn't remember what this encounter was. But it's not a particularly bad one. There's 2 encounters on this level, and this is by far the easier of the 2. The other is much easier to get messed up with. Use your blood punch on that specter if you have it available to make your life a lot easier. And then this guy was hiding from me, but we had plenty of time, so that wasn't an issue. It's a little bit of a maze here. There's a few maze-like bits in this level. And lots of holes for your little worm tentacle friends. Not so much right now, but later on we'll find more of them. Around here we will find that secret we saw from the other side. Get our prowler figure. Use this computer terminal. We'll just skip the cutscene here.
See Jessica in HR and sign.
So I took the gain speed boost after Quarry Kill to finish off our rune collection.
Be generous. Give your blood.
Again, I rarely switch these out, so it doesn't really matter, but it can be fun if you're finding your play is feeling a little stale, or, you know, maybe you're not quite stimulated enough, you want to try out something new. You know, switching up your runes can give you different things to focus on. Nothing to do back here, just being thorough in my explorations. Really cool skybox in this level too. The Doom Eternal, it's a really gorgeous game.
Catapult is designed to use all
So now we have shot our way in here. Skipping the cutscene, of course we don't see that, we just pop out, but another little semi-maze-like area. Just wanted to make sure I was not missing any secrets. And we have lots of holes down here from which our taloned tentacle friends can pop out and stab us. Secret here that I didn't want to forget. Don't actually remember what Onslaught does, what that cheat code enables. Some of them are very clearly cheats, and others are almost more like modifiers. There's one, can't remember the name, it might be Starvation or Famine mode, where you don't actually get health and armor drops from your glory kills and flame belch. So that is a super different way to play. Really didn't think that last one was going to be there. I just really didn't. Another suit point. That for now. Could have waited for one more to finish off my ice bombs, but or you know, get the highest one anyway. But I decided to take the cooldown because that's a good one to have, especially for the ice bomb where you don't have two of them. So it's nice to reduce the cooldown on that a little bit. Ice bomb, of course, is particularly useful for panic situations. So if you are surrounded, find yourself suddenly out of ammo, or accidentally switching to a weapon that you don't have any ammo for, or are just surrounded and outgunned, often a good choice to swap to your ice bomb quickly. Launch it just, you know, at your feet or at the nearest enemy and just sort of give yourself some breathing room. It can also be used proactively in offense if you're facing someone real tough, you know, if you get a couple of real tough enemies that happen to spawn or are just in your field of view that are close together. It's often a very nice way to group them up so that you can sort of, you know, use like a rocket launcher or grenades or whatever for splash damage to sort of damage everybody that's in there. Now this little teleport here will take us to where the other secret encounter is. So I couldn't remember what was in here, and I didn't do this especially well. And you have a couple just imps, and then this whiplash, and I took an imp shot, and that wasn't great, and then the whiplash just polished me off. Really, you're ideally wanting to deal with that whiplash before the Cacodemon comes out, so that you can then deal with the Prowler unmolested, but, well, I can't win them all, I guess. Not an excruciatingly tough challenge, but easy to get taken by surprise, since you have that surprise Cacodemon that kind of sneaks up on you, and of course the Prowler, whose job is to sneak up on you. Get our carcass toy. And we're back up here and can fall back down once again. Restock your ammo if you need. And we're back in space, where we have normal gravity, but for some reason these giant exploding barrels do not. Not sure what the conceit is here, if maybe those weird energy things are supposed to be like artificial gravity or something, I don't know. No need to overthink it. Making sure I didn't miss anything before I continue my way down. A few armor and ammo pickups there. And then we can launch ourselves over to this guy. It's us up here. You can see the nice green marker telling you where to go. And it's time for an empowered demon. Lucky for us, an empowered Cacodemon really is not substantively worse. Just a little more health there. I'm not actually sure if you can glory kill them using the sticky bombs. They may be immune to that, I'm not sure. And I think we mentioned this before in the previous video, but of course, if you are struggling for any reason in the game, feel free to turn off empowered demons. I soften them up and kill a few of the smaller mobs there with the BFG. This is kind of an average point that most people, on average, will probably decide to use their BFG. Still plenty of opportunities. It's not necessary. If you're good at weapon comboing, there's really no need to use it there at all. But you've seen me do plenty of weapon comboing at this point. So I figure, okay, we'll just soften them up. But you do get another 30 to your BFG ammo, which of course is a single shot. The reason that it gives it to you like as a plus 30 is because you can also, that weapon shares ammunition with the Unmaker, which is a different kind of thing. It's a rapid fire weapon rather than a big burst. So we've got this fella here. Just do a quick swap and he's taken care of. I do enjoy the giant exploding barrels. Just making sure I didn't miss anything. And there's another Cacodemon. Not sure who managed to blow themselves up down there. Or if I was somehow inadvertently responsible for this. Don't forget your 1-up and your armor shards. Top of this tower. That was an ineffective use of the B-Flame Belch. Climb up here, get armor, except I don't need it. Take care of this dude with the usual 1-2 punch. And I believe the giant comical exploding barrels respawn after a time. Might be tied to your, they might just count as regular exploding barrels, so it might actually be tied to whether you have the barrel respawn perk. So to get up to that guy, you just jump back over here, climb up to the health pack, and then you can get over. Deal with our Arachnotron. And these guys, just wait. I'm gonna wait here to refill my Flame Belch, because that's a perfect opportunity to just get my stack back up to full or close to it with all these guys. So there we go. Full stack of armor from them. There's various ways you can handle this. You could just jump directly to that, or you can kind of go around the way. And we get an extra life there, or at least, you know, you don't miss it. A little bit of accidentally tapping more than one key in my weapon switching there, so unfortunate to lose my entire stack, but it's not the end of the world either. It's good that I had as much stack as I did to not die instantly. And that was foolish, and then I dodged directly into his AoE effect, so that was very silly. No reason I should have died there at all, except for user error. Do be mindful of your dashes. it's easy to dash slightly the wrong direction and end up in harm's way. So we can make use of the extra height from going all the way over there to fly our way back and get those items on top. And a sentinel crystal. So my guess is by this point you have not invested in health for blood or armor for blood, probably. As I assume the average player probably, you know, who's on challenging difficulty and struggling a little bit is probably prioritizing the other things, because why would you prioritize stuff where you're, you know, a rich get richer situation where you've already got stack and that's where you get the bonus, you know. So I'm assuming that's why I've been going the other way. Some better players may, you know, opt for those others first, but and by that point you can, I'm sure, decide what it is you think is best. If you're more often full of health, then that may be the better thing to take. And given that your armor usually, you know, runs out first. Whoopsie daisy, didn't mean to do that at all, that was a mistake. Got surprised by that tentacle dude. So yes, if you're given the choice between those two, you may decide to do health first. That might be smarter. But I wasn't particularly worried about it one way or the other. And a secret here. Can't climb up there. I honestly could not remember for the life of me how you get this secret. It was staring me right in the face right here. There's a hint for you. So there's our Slayer Gate. And we will get the key at the same time as we get the other secret. They're kind of part of the same secret there, but how do you get there? So while I'm taking a second to wander around here, I will mention that I've had a few recording issues. Episode 6 is currently uploading as we speak. And that has been a long upload because I've been experimenting with some... I'm trying to use this opportunity to learn how to better make, you know, YouTube content and, you know, do some light video editing more mechanically.
The Doomslayer, his power, his will to overcome. These are the lies of the...
And in particular, I'm learning a lot about how resolution works. Both, you know, recorded, upscaling, how YouTube encodes videos. So hopefully, I hope, starting from episode 6 and beyond, hopefully things will be even slightly more improved than they have been. And I re-uploaded episode 4. You guys shouldn't see any change. It's been changed in all the ending screens for the videos and in the playlist. But it is a new version of the exact same video, just uploaded at a much higher bitrate, which hopefully, actually also at a higher resolution. I used a different encoding process and a hardware accelerated one. that seems to have made a fair bit of difference. So hopefully from this point on, and of course now I finally take the time to look here and see the very obvious gold button. Whoops. But yeah, hopefully going forward videos will look a step above what they have looked like to this point. But we'll see. I also had some issues, which is frustrating. I lost an entire map. I lost Taras Nabad. Unfortunately, we're going to have to go back and play that through as a mission select. Not live, so all the pickups are already gotten pretty much. I think there was one thing I missed that we can get, but unfortunately, we're going to have to play that one through. And I did buy some stuff. I did buy some upgrades. I used the 2 mastery tokens you get on that map. So, you know, you can kind of take a look at the upgrades in this video that I had and see what I purchased by the time we get there. But unfortunately, I'll have to go through that one with me slightly overpowered. So this is quite the brouhaha. I wouldn't really qualify this as an especially noteworthy fight, except for the Marauder here in the beginning. There are so many other enemies to deal with that it's very frustrating. So you can, if you can get him just with, you know, sort of a shot of opportunity, and also in this Slayer Gate, we're introduced to these makers here, who are susceptible to a single shot to the head, or if you get them, you know, with a couple of shotgun blasts, you can knock them into a glory kill state, but they will just explode like a bag of prizes. So you can see I was trying to bait him into an attack there, and the Prowler was really getting in my way, as these guys tend to do. And of course misread him as an imp, and that is a costly failing there, because the Marauder just doesn't pull any punches. Those guys are tough. They're fairly predictable as far as, you know, it's easy to see what they do and to predict kind of how they're going to chase you, at least to a degree. But if you misread, or if there's any issues, it's rough. And that was, I just forgot that you need double pips of your... It's a really messy situation that I did not want to be in. So it's just bad news all around. And I've got practically no health, and this dog that the Marauder spawns is going to cause me a great deal of consternation, because it's really hard to get away from them. So I definitely want to kill them first. Now I've at least got a little health. But there's another one. And you can see I take that bite because I got stuck on the wall and lose yet another life on this. And we've barely even, this is just the first phase of this gate, so they really front-loaded the difficulty on this one. Nothing else is too bad. I should have handled it a little better than I did, but you know, this is the pretty average nightmare, so I need to live up to the name and play pretty averagely, I guess. So I managed to get a nice stack going there, and these Hell Knights are very susceptible to being frozen. So we finally got the empowered one, which simply just, you know, took a little longer. And there's lots and lots of imps, and I think still a few prowlers around. And now a pair of barons. And these guys will be easier to deal with than the Marauder, because they're dispatched in the same general fashion, just without having the shield. So they're, while they are very strong, and their leap especially can really catch you off guard, they're really just a big damage sink. They're just big damage sponges. They don't really have any defense to speak of, other than, you know, reasonably high HP. So he's down there, and I just couldn't get to him in time, so I said screw it and just take him out. And whoops, little pot shot there. And that's that. So not exactly an elegant play through that Slayer Gate, but hopefully that will encourage those of you who maybe haven't, you know, gotten too good with weapon combos and find the Marauders quite frustrating. That would be my advice, is to try and deal with as many adds as you can, and once you've taken out a good bit, hopefully like sort of in a short period, reduce their numbers quite a bit, then try to bait him into an opportunity to do as much damage to him as you can, and otherwise just take pot shots as they sort of become available. Keep your distance, try your best to get rid of his orange ghost dog friend, banish that with a good super shotgun blast or rocket or ballista shot. Any large damage one-shot weapon is the best.
The lost city of the
And now we're back to Hebeth.
This was before
Well, not back. We're at Hebeth.
the slip gate will take you to Sentinel Prime, where the priest is hiding.
Hebeth is sort of the final arena here. So they call it the Lost City of Hebeth and all, which is cool, but it's really just a battle arena as far as we're concerned. So I am once again going to just straight up use that BFG just to get rid of these guys, which gets us the completed challenge. Compared to the Slayer Gate, this fight isn't too bad. It has its own features that make it tough, depending on, you know, how good you are at facing certain enemies and all. But it's a bigger arena, it's a little more open, gives you more chance to kind of run around and pick your battles, and at least until you get caught in these corners. So there you saw a good defensive ice bomb. I was worried that I was kind of getting into a sticky situation that might turn badly, so even though I hadn't lost too much stack, I just said, no, screw it, I want to make sure this is taken care of preemptively. Realizing that I was not on lock-on, whoops. Had time to switch, but I figured I'd just fire a few rockets and go from there. Managed to take out his base. Again, another sort of defensive firebomb to make sure, because I was at low stack, that I didn't get unduly damaged by a side swipe from an Emperor Gargoyle. I actually thought I had the 2 pips necessary to take out that Prowler with the chainsaw. And switch to our lock-on blast just to finish this dude off. And he's kind of the last deal, the final boss of the area, as it were. So you can double check, make sure you've gotten the stuff from this area, and then that's pretty much it. They give you a free BFG here, which again they just kind of expect you to use. You don't have to, but there's, what, 4 Cacodemons it looks like? So, you know, maybe 5 even. So feel no shame in just taking advantage of that free ammo and getting rid of them.
The portal ahead will take you to Sentinel Prime, where the Hell Priest Date Grav is waiting.
And that's it. That is all she wrote. We'll head on into Sentinel Prime, which will be a very short episode, made a little bit longer because we will do a little more exploring around the Fortress of Doom. Make sure that we've gotten everything that we need to get there, but other than that, it'll be a pretty short and sweet episode where we fight a very large dude with an angry shield. So, until that time, I hope you are all doing well. I hope these videos have helped you a bit, and I look forward to seeing you next time.